I think that Jasmy is a very underrated project, and $1 during this bull run, that wouldn't surprise me, even though that's not financial advice. A lot of attention as of right now is on AI, right? People love AI, so do I. A lot of people, they love meme coins. Me too. But oftentimes, people ignore a very special market that not that many projects are focused on. And that's the data storage market, which Jasmy is focused on. Because you take a look at how Jasmy, it's focused on data democracy. Again, it's focused on decentralizing data storage. Now, some people, they may laugh at this because they're like, oh yeah, there's no potential in that, man. Come on. Catch this, right? When it comes to Fortune Business Insights, they do predict that the global data storage market size could be worth nearly $800 billion by 2030. So yeah, that's amazing. That's no joke right there. And for the people, again, that say that, oh wow, the data storage market is so bad, I disagree. Even a very reputable entity, much like Fortune Business Insights, does have, high predictions for it moving forward. And I believe it could do well as well. But it's going to take some time because as of right now, a lot of data storage is usually very centralized, which I don't necessarily think is such a good thing. But of course, it's going to take time for enterprises to shift their mindset because typically, they don't just change out on a whim. But if you really think about it, is centralized data storage that great? I really don't think so. Typically, in some cases, controlled by a single entity. Usually, in some cases, they have these multiple single points of failures. And I just don't think people really like that because where's the freedom in terms of our data at that point, right? Hypothetically, of course, allegedly. So decentralization does play a very vital role because then it quite essentially removes that and then it solves it. So I think it's the way to go moving forward. But again, it's going to take some time because, it's going to take a while for people to shift their mindset. But in my opinion, when something is entering at such an early stage, that's actually a benefit because once that wave for decentralized data storage solutions really kicks in, not just the retail hype, I think at that point, really, something like Jasmy is going to really catch it and go along with the wave because I think it's much better anticipating wave as opposed to chasing it. Other projects will chase, but Jasmy, it's going to be at a prime position to catch that, which is why they're focused on it right now. And they're not giving up. They're not quitting. They're not being lazy or complacent. And this is what I love. And I wouldn't expect anything else really, because if you take a look at Jasmy, its team is arguably the best out there. You take a look at how its team is filled with many people who've worked at places like Sony and also KPMG, which is one of the big four accounting firms. So I don't think that this type of project with this type of leadership is going to go off into the abyss anytime soon. I think it's just going to, have good things from here on out. And with an amazing team like this, they actually could bring a lot of benefits because, for instance, a lot of projects out there, they're not really focused on regulation. They don't really care. They're just focused on the retail market. They have some hype. Great. They love it. They show off and they're like, yeah, cool. But then when the project disappears, they just run off into the abyss in some cases. But when it comes to Jasmy, the amazing thing about it is that they project a lot of trust, at least those vibes, because Jasmy is a legally compliant cryptocurrency in the country of Japan. And not only that, it's actually the first ever to do so, again, in Japan. Japan is a very wonderful country, very amazing. And it's not, that easy for a cryptocurrency to become legally compliant there. There's a lot of rules, regulations. This isn't necessarily the case in other places, but it is in Japan. So if Jasmy is able to achieve that here, quite essentially, again, in Japan, of course, I'm not in Japan, but you get my point. That shows something. It showcases how when it comes to Jasmy, it has A+ fundamentals, it's well-regulated, and also on top of that, I think it's very solid. At least that's the way I view it. So $1 really isn't crazy. If it were to go to that price, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $50 billion. I mean, come on, that really isn't insane, contrary to popular belief. We've seen Dogecoin reach over 80 billion. Now I get it, Dogecoin, it has a lot of fans, it's a meme coin. I'm not saying that Jasmy is a meme coin, but if something like Doge can reach over 80 billion, why can't Jasmy, even though it has far less fans, with far better fundamentals, can at least reach around 50? That's way less than that. Also, we've seen BNB reach over $100 billion in market cap, which is kind of insane if I really think about it, because the BNB smart chain ecosystem, it's allegedly not really known for its security. You take a look at how just last year, according to Crypto.com research, slightly over 2% of the crypto hacks that happened actually occurred on the BNB smart chain ecosystem. And Do I think that's acceptable? No, because I think the crypto space overall is very massive. So yeah, I don't really like that. If BNB can reach over 100 billion, I think Jasmy at around 50 billion, it's not so bad. Jasmy did have a very decent pump. When I first started talking about Jasmy, things were so boring, but then of course did very well. And now it's having a pullback. People don't really like it, but I think, hey, why is it so bad? If anything, it's actually a chance for me to accumulate at a much lower point. If I'm bullish on Jasmy months ago, I'll be more even bullish on it right now, considering the prices that we are at. And it's not like Jasmy went all the way back to its original point, right? You still take a look at it, it's still up by quite a lot in the grand scheme of things. But I still think it has a lot more to go because $1, that's still my price target for Jasmy during this bull run. And why would it not? Over 600 million crypto owners as we speak. That's more than ever before in history, according to Crypto.com research. You also take a look at the Bitcoin ETF. I would be so surprised if Bitcoin doesn't hypothetically at least go to the price of $150,000 during this bull run. And let's say it were to do that, altcoin season is going to look so legendary. Jasmy at the price of $1. At that point, I don't see why not. But of course, it's not going to happen like tomorrow. Come on. Usually it happens quite a while actually from right now, but it's actually not that long really in the grand scheme of things, because usually altcoins, they peak anywhere between a year and a half to half a year after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, basing off the last Bitcoin halving event back in April, half a year is October this year, but I don't think it's going to happen this early because historically this has been a very bullish case scenario. Let's say we take a worst case scenario, a year and a half, October next year. I really don't mind because I've been believing in Jasmy ever since 2022. So if let's say I have to wait a little bit over a year from right now as a worst case, fine, more time for me to accumulate anyways. But if it happens a little bit earlier, great, because party time for me. But either way, right, I don't really mind. All I can do right now is just do what I can control, which is dollar cost averaging. I can control me being consistent. I can control me, accumulating, but I can't, wave this magic wand and say, yeah, today, Jasmy's going to go to the price of $1. That's typically not how it works. It takes some time. So again, I know that I'm staying patient, and that's why I'm continuing to dollar cost average. Anytime an income, I'm accumulating, holding, and just waiting. That's it. Again, $1 during this bull run wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.